Good morning, everyone. I haven't been the most present at the well this year, so I thought I'd give a quick introduction to myself. My name is Kendra Mamea. Obviously, it's on the board. I'm from Southern California. I graduated from York College in December last year, and I'm a graduate assistant for the education department. When I was told the topic for what my chapel talk needed to be about, I found myself stuck. And after a while, I began to hate the fact that I needed to talk about identity because I had to face the fact that the last few months have really put my identity to the test. Looking from the outside in, you could probably start making assumptions about my identity. I'm Polynesian, Samoan to be exact. I'm a female young adult, the list can continue. But these aren't the parts of my identity that have been put to the test recently. The parts that I'm talking about are the parts that aren't always visible. To be more specific, the way I react to upsetting situations in a way that is true to my identity is what I've been struggling with the last few months. So more about me is, I was raised in a single parent household with my mom and two sisters. We didn't have it made, far from that if anything. I recall times when we called motels home and snacks a meal. I remember my mom doing everything she could to provide all she can. This next memory may seem out of place, but I promise you'll understand when I circle back, so just bear with me. At the age of 5, most people probably remember being a kid, going to playgrounds, parks, running around, all that kind of stuff. I remember the first time I went to jail. I was about 5 years old, like I said. Initially, I was scared and confused. Then I became overwhelmed when I realized that the visitor's block was not the boat my dad was supposed to be on for vacation. As a kid, my family put this crazy facade to me as the baby of the family that my dad was away on vacation, a long cruise actually. I never questioned that because this was my normal. My mom was home and my dad was on vacation. In the midst of confusion, I had these odd sensations of comfort because in the visitor cells where I got to make memories with my dad. When he left county jail to enter a state penitentiary, our in-person memories ended. He was now a 5-hour drive away rather than 15 minutes. As I got older, I began to ask questions about his vacation that nobody was ready to answer. Something a lot of people don't know is that when one of your family members is in prison, your entire family feels locked up too. Eventually, I took matters into my own hands, and with a quick search, I found out the crimes he committed. I don't want to get into those details, but he ended up being in prison for life. And if you don't know, you need to commit some serious crimes to get a sentence like that. Growing up, I couldn't separate his actions from my worth. This came as me questioning my existence and identity, because who wants to have someone like that as a dad, right? My freshman year of high school, I became fed up with the fake relationship we nurtured through constant letters and occasional calls, so I cut him out of my life. My sisters talked to him occasionally, but it was best for me to figure out who I am without carrying his burdens. It's been almost 10 years since we've talked, and I do think of him often, but I decide not to reach out. He still writes, I just don't read them, but my grandma, his mom, saves them in case I ever want to. I thought I came to terms with where a relationship is, but recently his sister reached out to me to tell me that her and some other family members are planning to visit him because he's very ill, and to be blunt, he may die soon. Hearing this hurt. I didn't know that I still had such a soft spot for him. Backtrack to the beginning of my talk. This is the part where I struggle with responding to an unsettling situation in a way that is true to my identity. I am kind, I give grace, I love intentionally and without conditions. These are major parts of my identity that I take pride in. These are also parts of my identity that don't appear when my dad is the topic. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm still not certain what's to come from my dad and I, but what I learned these last few months is that we should not let our parents' identities or burdens define ours. This is a lot easier said than done, but I think as young adults who are mostly fresh out of our parents' house, this is important to hear. Be your own person, define your own identity, and know our identities are ever changing with the experiences we go through. Thank you.